if you've been listening to our airwaves over the last couple of weeks, days, however you want to characterize it, our own Dan Bickley and John Gambadoro have alluded to some stuff with Ketel Marte, and the Arizona Republic's own Nick Piecoro went through some of this stuff. He reports for the past month, teammates and others in the organization have quietly grumbled about Marte's propensity to ask for days off. They were frustrated by the time off he requested following the burglary of his home, with some believing his departure around the All-Star break set in motion the collapse that led to the Diamondbacks trade deadline sell-off. Bick earlier today saying on Bickley and Murata that because there's been a lot of outrage online about this report and what Bick has said over the last couple of days from fans just being irate at this reporting around Ketel, especially with the burglary in mind. Of course, a situation that he would have to tend to for sure. Bick reporting that this time off and like the time off booked and all that kind of stuff was done before the burglary. And as Piecoro points out in his story, is a situation where he went to the Dominican Republic and was not back in Scottsdale where the original theft occurred. Another example in here is it reads, quote, "It stands in stark contrast to what outfielder Corbin Carroll has done over the past 6 weeks, playing through a broken bone in his hand because he, quote, felt like I owed it to everyone in here," end quote. It's just really weird timing for these rumblings to come because the Arizona Diamondbacks are, if they take care of business this weekend against the Colorado Rockies, are at what could be very well be the high point of their season right now. So for these rumblings to come out at this kind of time, I can understand fans reacting and feeling like this is targeted or feeling like it's coming at their team. But you have to remember where this information is coming from, and it is coming from within the Diamondbacks organization, and that is a problem right now, to say the least. When you're in the middle of a season and you're in mid-August and you are still in it, and you've got a chance to still make a late surge at the postseason. But obviously, like the offseason ramifications here, because you know what we wouldn't have done at the end of the season, Wolf, is question Ketel Marte's future with the Arizona Diamondbacks, and now I have to question it.
Yes, this is something. This is not nothing. This is something right now. You think about Marte since the trade deadline. You were talking about this yesterday. He's hitting .383. He's hit 3 home runs, 14 RBIs. He's got an OPS 1087. I mean, this guy is on a roll right now once again. We know what kind of talent Ketel Marte has. But is he a Mad King? That is the question that I will ask. And a Mad King, Basinonians, is a player that is wildly talented. For the most part, maybe the most talented guy in a locker room or clubhouse. Wildly talented. But there's something. There's something in the way that disconnects him from everybody else. I'm just wondering. I don't know this, Basinonians. I need to stress this. I do not know. I do not know Nick Piecoro and what Nick Piecoro knows or Dan Bickley knows about what is going on. And so I do not know. If I were inside that clubhouse, I'd be able to tell you with certitude as to whether or not this is true. The fact that there's even whispers about this right now, and you know this, Killer. In this business, that's the way that it typically starts. And the fact that there is tells me he might be one of these guys that, he's your best player. He's the most talented guy in the clubhouse. And yet there's this mark, this labas labis, as they say in the Latin, this stain that will not go away. Is he a Mad King? I don't know.
Two things I want to mention. One, the timing of this report and the timing of his extension earlier in the year really stand out to me. I'm not reporting anything here. This is just my general opinion and observation. But the timing of it sort of suggests in a way like, okay, here's your extension that you wanted. Because remember, Ketel didn't have like a year left on his deal or 2 years left on his deal. He had a lot of time left on his deal, and they added even more years on top of that. And the messaging behind this was, let's have Ketel like retire a Diamondback. Let's add even more onto this as well. But at the time, it just didn't really make sense as far as like the timing of what it was. And to me, the way that I interpret it now is, okay, here's your extension. Can you please go about yourself in the completely professional way that we want you to do? Yeah. And that was before this whole trip around the All-Star break as well. The second thing, Nick writes, quote, "In recent years, some Diamondbacks players have taken to adding a phrase to comments when asked about Marte. He is a great player, they say, when he wants to be.
Okay.
They are giving credit while also airing a grievance," end quote. And the parallels here are undeniable with the Luka Doncic situation in the NBA, because you will remember when they traded him out of nowhere, we were all completely caught off guard. We knew that the Mavericks were frustrated about his conditioning program and all those types of things, but he is such an incredible, amazing talent that it wouldn't make sense. And Ketel right now, there were the stats dropping last night. Look over his last 162 games. It's one of the best offensive seasons by a second baseman ever.
Yeah.
He's the best second baseman in baseball right now. And to trade him when he is clearly in his prime and still even getting better would be completely out of left field, would be completely asinine, in my opinion, even if he's a prima donna to this extent.
Yeah.
And that's where I wonder the balancing act that the Diamondbacks have obviously internally been dealing with him over the last couple of years that I guess has reached some sort of breaking point, because for it to be, you mentioned whispers. The whispers were there, but this is out in the open now. Now it's out in the open.
Yeah, I know. And man, I wonder about that. Where did this information come from, Nick Piecoro? Nick, are you there? Are you listening to me right now? Is anybody out there, Nick? Please go ahead, at me, do something, call me. I just, where did the information come from? I'm not questioning Nick in any way, shape, or form. As a matter of fact, it takes a lot of courage to actually go and say and report what you know to be true based on what people are saying to you. It takes a lot of moxie, let's put it that way, and I wonder just how prevalent it is in the clubhouse. If you've got players that are in agreement saying, yeah, when he wants to be, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is where you can't have your best player. This is my experience. I don't know if this is the truth. My experience. You can't have your best player be a guy that people look down on for a certain reason, whatever it may be. It's very, very tough to get any type of real chemistry going in that situation.
And now it becomes
That's
something.
been my experience, Killer.
Sure. And now it becomes something that we have to now monitor and keep track of. Like if he's here for a long time, it's going to be like if he doesn't run out a ball to first base, where all of a sudden we're like, why didn't he run that out? Like it's one of those things where we might not have been noticing certain things within the way that he was going about his business, where now everyone is paying attention. So it creates a lot of really confusing and difficult dynamics for them to go about.
Okay, once again, I'm going to say this quickly right now, but have the Arizona Diamondbacks been consistent? When you look at their talent level and what their talent level has been, have they been consistent? No, they have not been consistent. They've been up and down and all over. I don't know this to be true, but if it is, that might be Exhibit A as to why they've been inconsistent.
Thanks for watching Wolf and Luke. Tap to see more and click the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.